People, welcome to what I think is a surprise stream. To be honest, I planned it, then cancelled it, and then without without any warning, brought it back. But yeah, it's what it is. I need to add some text to let you guys know that there will be no alerts. Mr. Danny Boy, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. How's your weekend going? I'll make the text smaller in a bit once I finish writing. I don't work Saturdays, works, honestly. Hey, I'm making an effort, all right? I'm making an effort. Give it a bit of a background. Put it over out of the way. Bless me. Like it's out of the way, but it should still be fairly visible, right? So no one can say, "Oh, refund! I want a refund." Hey, listen, you're doing nothing, Dan. But that's it, mate. That is what it's about. All the stress that you go through across the week. Now you're doing nothing. Excuse me. That's it. That's the game. Hello, Lennon. Don't know whether to get my games for free again on Steam because I think I got a virus on my laptop from something else, and I can get all DLCs and stuff. So tempting. Well, I mean, if you mean like get all DLCs, you know, the sneaky way, it's always at your own risk, bro. It's always at your own risk. But you won't get any virus from Steam. I'm pretty certain of that. Right, today, I'm just gonna be doing the scenarios. Running through the scenarios. Hence why alerts are off, because I'm gonna be doing it for YouTube. Oh, okay. So Nvidia wants to muck around. Okay, boss. Okay, boss. Is that what we're doing? That looks like that looks like it's what we're doing. Could it be because the game is not full screen? I've had this happen before. I had piss yesterday. Was gonna have to swap. It's part of the job, man. You win some, you lose some. You win some, you lose some. Okay, now the recording seems to be fine. Well, you would hope it's fine. I've had the issues before where it just stops the recording mid, just randomly, and I don't notice until I finish what I'm doing. I go to look at the footage, and whoops. Yeah, desktop capture is on, so that should mean. So tempted to. I've got Tracing Classic. I bought it. Boy, DLCs are so expensive. Yep. And that one I play Tracing Mod and all that. Yeah, well, at your own risk. At your own risk. At your own risk. Right, let's do Riviera line. 8 scenarios on here. Some of them quite lengthy, some of them rather short. We'll go top to bottom. Winterruptions. Take control of this heavily delayed service as you attempt to get to Exeter St. David's in treacherous conditions. Okay. A ton of snow, basically. I assume other treacherous conditions. We're in 1080p. I tried to switch to 1440p a couple days ago and it went horrendously wrong, mate. Horrendously wrong. So it's going to be 1080p for a while. Conditions are treacherous today, and we've had word that worse weather is coming in from the east. Expect traffic as everyone tries to cope with the weather. Good luck. Cheers, mate. Good luck indeed. Set the master keter on. Well, before I even do that, actually, safety systems on first, please. Boom. 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 I think that's all of them. Now we can put the master key in. Neutral. Headlights to night. Don't know where the wipers are. It's going to do it by keyboard, by keybinds. I think a platform's to the right of us. It's got quite a bright cab light, but I think the more lighting we've got inside, the harder it is to see out. So I'm gonna leave the light off for now, and we'll do the ambiance thing where we just have the screens on, the GSMR's text, the indicator lights on, and go from there. So I don't know what it was, Dan. So I should have done one by one, to be honest, but I did both, changing the bit rate to be fair to what it was on my gaming PC, and the resolution. I did them both at the same time, and Twitch was limiting the stream to 720p. So like my CPU usage went up from 30-ish% to like 60, but it was still fine. But Twitch wasn't having it for some reason, so it was weird. I have officially a second project reviewing another truck from America this time. Oh, there's a launch event, but I doubt I'll go. I'll get to go if I do get it for free. Yeah, bro, that would be sick. That would actually be quite sick. The States is somewhere I really want to go. I don't think I'm even bothered like where I would go, unless it's obviously like some rubbish town in the middle of nowhere. But as long as it's in like, you know, normal US, I'd be more than happy. I was meant to actually go this year, but things didn't exactly go to plan, unfortunately. Ah, yeah, good point. Yeah, good point. Yeah. For you to be, I guess, considered as a candidate, something must be speaking for you. Thank you, Hayden, for liking the live. Yeah. I basically cancelled today's stream so that I could record the scenarios. Excuse me. But then I thought to myself, well, hold on a second. I can record the gameplay and stream it at the same time and just kill two birds with one stone. Because it was starting to stress me out a little bit, because I was thinking to myself, well, there's a ton of scenarios to get through. I think I'm going to pause my journey mode stuff and just focus on scenarios for now, so I can get them all out as like YouTube videos. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, with all these hours and hours and hours and hours of scenarios that need to be done, how am I going to find the time to stream? But I could just do both at the same time. Good afternoon, Hayden. How you doing, mate? I won't be on for too long. A few hours. Sometimes there's like a delay between applying throttle or braking. It's inconsistent. The mods are slowly starting to appear. There's a mod for the headlights now for the 802. There's a mod for the 166 to kind of make it a bit more TOD4 friendly. Although the author has written in the description that it will be, what's the word, obsolete soon. And I was thinking to myself, what's the point in installing a mod just for it to be obsolete soon? So I've left that one. I've left it alone, because if I'm going to be installing a lot, and I mean a lot of mods, I want to have the security of them being long lasting. There's nothing to say that Dovetail won't release like an update that will break some mods, but that's fine. That's something that's unforeseen. But if a mod author knows that there's going to be an issue with the mod very soon, there's no point, because I'm gonna get into the situation again where I might encounter a game issue. I've got 600 mods that could possibly, that could all possibly be the reason for the issues, and what I'm going to be going through them one by one to figure out which one's causing the issues and which one's not. Nah, no thank you. Even taking as much care as I did in TSW 5, for the last few weeks of it, I still had to play with that. I ended up removing all the mods just due to that very particular issue. That's good to hear, Hayden. I'm doing well, thank you, mate. Chifrati Bo, is that how I would pronounce your name? Thank you for liking the live. Hello. Yeah, always work smarter, not harder, man. Always. If you can kill 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 birds with one stone, why flip it not? Although, I will say, I have been thinking to myself, I think I might want to switch my monitors together so that I'm playing on my 4K one, and then I've got OBS and stuff on my 1440p one. Just so for when I am recording gameplay, I can be recording at the best possible quality. Just want to see something real quick. Resolution's gonna have a brain fart. I just want to make sure audio is working. I don't know where it's getting the audio from. Okay, no audio there. That's usually fine though. I know there should be audio actually. If I go here and here, no, there. Source for the microphone, but what's it getting as a source for? Separate tracks. Yeah, okay, that's why there's no sound. So if I get open Premiere and just open it inside Premiere Pro, the sounds should be okay. Hello, Nabil. Hey, Adi, thank you for the roses. How you doing? Nabil, I thought, you know what, mate? Let me let me hit two birds with one stone, you know? I can record and I can record and stream at the same time. Oh my god. Yes, untitled. We'll call it untitled. The risk is to get distracted. No, no, no. I'll try. Well, I'll try not to. I'll try not to. Okay. That is fine. Although I hope if I now change the sound stuff so that it's not on separate tracks. Hope it doesn't mess with anything. Right. How you doing, Nabil? What are you up to today? I'm not gonna lie. I was watching some when I was at work this morning, and I was watching some Motorfest streams. Bro, it was the sweats. It was the sweats, and what I was seeing in terms of the levels that they were going to, the cuts they were making, the lines they were taking. I said, you know what? Even if I was to play this game every day, I don't think I have the confidence that I had before that. I'd be as high ranking as I thought I would. It is ridiculous, man. Truly ridiculous. I'm hoping this red signal is just just a case of it being an approach. However, with the nature of the scenario being what it is, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. Why was that going off? That was vigilance. I've been mucking about with the control handle. I believe the only time it should go off is when you don't touch anything for 30 seconds. If it was AWS, I would have understood. Thing is, because of this weather, I actually can't even tell how close or far the signal is. And I'm trying to follow on the track monitor, but I don't want to end up cutting it too close. That will do just fine, mates. That will do just fine. Give a call to the signaler. Denied. Alright, boss. Hopefully this ain't no random event. But, hey, who's to tell? Should have probably topped up on my water before I started streaming. And the funny thing is, I thought about it before I started streaming. And I said, you know what? Let me leave it. Because I probably won't be getting through it that quickly anyway. But nope, here we are. 26 minutes into the stream. And it's done. Also, I didn't actually know the depth of how bad the issues were with the wrong builds coming out. Sorry. Xbox was having some texture issues where there was just black textures flickering everywhere, like big black textures flickering everywhere, not just like small little glitches here and there. PS5 had like issues with like some popping sound. And it made sense then to what some people were saying to me in chat, talking about, oh, sound issues and this issue and that issue. I'm like, huh? I don't know about that. I haven't noticed that, but it makes sense. How it can happen on any platform is beyond me. The fact that it happened on like 90% of their platforms is just crazy. It's very fitting that the first scenario we do is both at night and in bad conditions. I'm really hoping that there's no funny bugs that end up breaking a scenario or a train. I hope there's no stuck signals. It's a lot to ask for. It's a lot to ask for, I understand. But it's my hope nonetheless. I really do wonder if the weather gets this bad. Like, I'm sure it rains. Probably a lot. Because obviously you've got the sea here, but I wonder how often it gets snowy cold around here. And I wonder what that would look like as well. Actually, it probably wouldn't because of how like, all the salt content. I would imagine that it would be pretty hard for the snow to settle anywhere. Or like metal surfaces and stuff. Unless it's super heavy. I'm also a little bit intrigued that there truly are seemingly no announcements on the Voyager. This is where I do wish the stream resolution was a bit higher. I think it's good enough as it is for now. I don't know how well the 802 headlight mod is going to be seen as well. Just inch up a little closer, even though it's really hard to tell where exactly the signal is. just sit here and wait. Try to keep it as immersive as possible. I don't want to be opening the map. Do too much flying around. Just have to play out the scenario as it's intended to. And that's that. I think I'm just gonna risk it. Worst case scenario, I got to reinstall Windows for my USB. I mean, yeah, if you've got any like important files as well, will be possible to back them up onto a separate USB drive. I've been avoiding like full power from quite low speeds or even from a standstill, just for the sake of not experiencing wall slip. But I don't think we will have any wall slip on here. Hello Navi, I'm doing very well, thank you, mate. How are you doing? Been a while. What do I think of 6? Done a few runs and it's a bit laggy. A bit laggy in what sense though? It shouldn't be any different than TSW 5. It's the same base as TSW 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. So there really shouldn't be too much difference. In terms of like the route specifically, on the Riviera line, haven't experienced like low frames anywhere. I don't think I've really experienced low frames anywhere on the core routes. Yeah, I think it's been pretty good. In terms of the features, I've turned off the train faults feature and also the temporary speed restrictions feature due to bugs. But I've got announcements on, pretty happy with them. And I've kept the random events on just about because it had just started overdoing it a little bit yesterday, but it piped down a little bit, so I was cool with it. But so far, had a few encounters with the random events. All of them were the same though. All of them were doors being stuck, so nothing too difficult to fix. I honestly just jump into the number 3 camera, fly around the train, and you can just fix it from there. You don't actually need to step away from your cab and all of that. Although I guess for immersion, you would. But I think it depends on how much time you've got on your hands, really. Ionic cloth, cabin's a bit dark. Yes, it's a nighttime run. Played around the mine video settings, seems to run better on my machine. I'm getting a few lag driving the A021 of this train. Yeah, like I said, I mean, running the route for the first time, you're gonna have a lot of stutters while the shaders are being catched. Once you've got the first run out of the way and you've explored the route, it should be pretty smooth, and all you'll be experiencing will be just the normal TSW stutters. I can turn the cab lights on. It doesn't really look great with the lights turned on. Not gonna lie. And I'm pretty sure in reality the cab lights would be off. What the driver really needs to be focused on is the power handle, and clearing the AWS and obviously the vigilance, one of which is at his feet. So unless the driver needed to specifically look at something outside of the norm, pretty sure the cab light would be off. And it does get this dark. Having ridden at the front of an underground train, it does get this dark in reality. It does confuse me when you go into the braking portion of the power handle, and then it just gives you the percentage going up. It's very easy to mistake it for for your throttle input would be helpful if it actually said braking and then the percentage. Also, with the cab light on, aside from it not being typical, it makes it harder to see outside. So it's either you've got the darkness in here, but you can see what's going on outside the window, or you've got everything lit up inside, but you can barely see out. I guess ultimately, if the graphics were a bit better, I am running the game maxed out. But if the game graphics were a bit better, perhaps there'd be like the lights from the screens would be reflecting on some of the interior. You'd get like a bit of a backlight rather than the light seemingly being stuck to the screens, if that makes sense. I think it can be done. You can do light reflections in the interior. Jetwash done it with his graphics enhancement and the engine INI changes. I think it was specifically there was different effects on a lot of routes that were great, but the one that caught my eye specifically was the West Coast Main Line, Carlisle to Preston. The Overshap one. The lighting inside the it was the 87 at the time. It was before the 86 came out. The lighting inside the 87 was gorgeous. You had the reflections on point. Anything that was lit inside the train was reflecting on like sort of the panels and of the window as well. It was beautiful. That's a look at school. Yeah, it's very much like a vibe. Just running in the dark and just having the just the HUD lights, not the HUD lights, sorry, the gauge lights on. Oh, of course not, Dan. Of course not, mate. It doesn't even have DLSS. Something that all the game studios and developers are jumping on, right, to provide a better experience for their players in terms of smoother gameplay, but also it helps them as well in a way, because they didn't have to work extra hard in they wouldn't have to work as hard in terms of optimizing the game. They should still be focusing on optimizations, but it relieves them from a bit of pressure. And yeah, I mean, ultimately, bro, with it just being, I don't know, I don't think it being the same game over and over is the issue, because as far as I understand it, ray tracing is simply like a checkbox on Unreal Engine. I think more so the work is not just ray tracing, but I think even DLSS, but I think more so the work is the behind the scenes to make that work properly, because you can have it set to default, but you would need to fine tune it to each particular use case. And I mean, clearly not much time is given to anything other than content on here. No worries, Navi. Did you hear what I was did you hear my response to your question? If it's the same game, I was at 300 gig download, because it's re-downloading all your DLCs, isn't it? The 300 gigabytes is your DLCs. The base game itself isn't very big. I think it was like 30. My core download with the core routes and the deluxe trains was like 30 gig. Around 30 gig. That was 3 routes, and they're quite substantial in heft. From what I remember, I think the Riviera line is 7. Dresden route is over 10. I forgot exactly how much. The bill gave me the numbers yesterday, and I think the Morristown route is 10 gig. Thank you for liking the live. Levi, hello mate, how you doing? Navi, as long as you've moved your you've imported your profile, yeah, you can uninstall it. I uninstalled it. Oh, oh my god, that was scary. I uninstalled it today, I think, either earlier today or yesterday. I think it was today before I started streaming, before I started playing. You only really need to keep it installed, just so you can import your profile. Hello again, Levi. I should take this time to go for my bottle, to be honest. I don't know why I'm as thirsty as I am. You know, I could just probably just go straight into Power 4. To Notch 4. I actually uninstalled TSW 5 before starting TSW 6 for the first time. You still can import your TSW 5 profile? Interesting. Interesting. See, when I moved from TSW... When I moved to TSW 4 from 3, I uninstalled 3 first and then installed 4. And I lost a lot. I lost all the progress I made on TSW 3. Luckily, it's my least played TSW out of the ones I've played, so I didn't lose, too much. But yeah, I think ultimately it's just down to your save game, isn't it? Which is in your documents. So technically, it's a folder that should stay until you manually delete it. But I'd rather be safe than sorry, man. I think it's even Dovetail's own advice that you leave the previous version installed, get the new one in, and then you can uninstall the other one. But it's good to know. It's good to know that, yeah, it's anyone who's like lacking in space. I mean, to be fair, you could just delete all your DLC folders, and then have the base game, and then you'd have space for the new TSW. But yeah, anywho, it's good to know that if someone is hard focused on uninstalling the previous iteration first, they're not locked out of importing their profile. I talked to AI, Levi. What do you mean? What do you mean I'm talking to AI? Even with these little delays, I think we're doing fairly well for time. Doing fairly well for time. I'm not sure, Ionic. I'm trying to figure out the same thing, mate. On the install of 6, it asks you, do you want to install a previous profile? And if yes, what profile? It offers me 2, 4. 4 to 5 or 5 to 6. Right. I'm not quite sure I follow. When it was mine, it had my different profiles, and it just said the name of the game that they were from. So I had a profile from Train Sim World 2, and then one from 4, and the one from 5. And I guess what Ionic said does make sense, because I don't have 4 installed, and I obviously don't have 2 installed, and it still offered me those profiles. So I really do wonder what happened to my TSW3, data. And it was weird as well, is I don't know whether it all got removed or whether it's just the core routes. Because I know for sure, I finished Cajon Pass journey mode. I finished the Southeastern High Speed journey mode, and the Castle Würzburg German journey mode, 100%, 100%, 100%. I know I did them, and yet somehow they're not complete. But all my other data from all the other TSWs, including TSW2, was fine. Levi, I'm not quite sure what you're talking about, bro. I'll be honest. Just have a normal convo, man. 4 or 5. Okay. Okay, now I get you. Now I get you. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I don't think anyone will be ignoring a more recent profile to go and install an older one. It obviously wouldn't make. I mean, hey, I don't know. I have heard some very weird ways people go about playing games. So someone out there has a reason or two for doing so. But I personally don't get it. You're talking to AI. Stop lying. Okay, Levi. You're. I think at this point you're waffling. I don't. I've asked you what do you mean by I'm talking to AI. You haven't explained. You haven't explained how I'm talking to AI. You're just making a claim. I don't know who's the AI or what the AI is that you're referring to. I'm talking to Restream bot. Okay, so if you pay attention to the chat from Restream bot, if you read what it says after Restream bot, you will see that it has a particular name. The name after it says Restream bot is the name of the person on Twitch that is writing that particular message. So what Restream bot is doing is relaying Twitch messages to YouTube and YouTube messages to chat. So the AI that you're talking about, the people on Twitch can see what you're writing because of Restream bot. It's wise to ask before jumping to conclusions. My scenarios are for the Flying Scotsman set to 0, but remember I did them all because we tried about getting a damn thing. I do remember, yeah, I do. And wasn't it that when I went to check to kind of figure out how I did it, because there was one in particular that you were having trouble with, I was a bit confused because it showed that I hadn't done it when I strongly believed I had, but I think that was just I think that was an error on my part. I don't think I actually got to finishing all of the scenarios for that. I'm not sure why. I'll be honest. I don't know whether it was like a new route release, because obviously I'll focus on the new thing. So I don't know whether it was that, or if I had just left the game for a little bit. I don't know. I was very close to leaving the game yesterday, actually. Going back to when you asked me how's TSW6, I had a nightmare on the German route with the 294. I ran the ICE, no issues at all. It was a beautiful run, nice and easy, to be honest. Comes the 294 now, and twice I got stuck in the same bit of the training scenario in training center with that train, so I couldn't even learn how to drive the train, but I figured it out anyway with the help of Gereno. And then come now me running an actual service with the 294 on the route. Man, the signals were messed up, PZB was messed up. I don't know whether the train was messed up. I don't think I had any issues with the train. Oh, that's an RHTT formation. Don't know what it's going to be doing here, to be honest, in this weather. But yeah, it was just a disaster. And it genuinely, like, I mean, we're all familiar with TSW being as buggy as it is. Cool. And you know, I had my issues with the train faults. I had my issues with the temporary speed restrictions. I turned those features off. It's just part of the TSW that I've come to know. So it didn't put me off or anything. But that run that I did, just the 294 experience in general, genuinely made me feel like calling it quits. And that was like one of the first things I did in yesterday's stream. I was about an hour into the stream. And I had to fight myself to not just lock it off. It properly pissed me off. Of course you are, Dan. Well, with a work rate, mate, it wouldn't be silly for someone to assume that being the case. No problem, Levi. I appreciate your apology. Take it as a learning experience for the future. Now, Navi, if I was on PlayStation or Xbox and you asked me how was TSW6, my answer would be very, very different. I don't know if you're about on the forums and have seen the issues that those... Basically, all the platforms had issues except Steam. Epic Games had the wrong build released. PlayStation 4 had the wrong build release. PlayStation 5 had sound issues. Xbox had the wrong build release. It was diabolical. It was diabolical. How a release can go so badly year in, year out. Man, I don't get it, my man. I don't get it. Just upset, Levi? I understand, mate. I hope your day gets better. I hope you feel better. Your own Steam, yeah, lovely. Yeah, lovely. And I knew you were on PC, just wasn't 100% sure on which platform. So when I was streaming it on the release night and also yesterday, I'd get people asking me, "Oh, are you like, what's happening with this issue? What's happening with that issue?" Like, and they'd be calling out the problems, and I'm like, I don't really know what you're talking about. And I hadn't visited the forums at all. I had a little bit of knowledge that there was some issues going on. I didn't know to what depth. So all the issues that people were having, they'd come to my stream and just be like, "Oh, there's this thing going on. There's that thing going on." And I'm just like, I haven't experienced it myself. Maybe I've missed it, but I haven't seen anything. And my audio hasn't been popping. Nothing wrong with my textures. I haven't been stuck on a loading screen. That was an issue on PlayStation. And then yeah, as I was at work last night, got onto the forums, reading through everything, and I understood. It all clicked. It all made sense. You work like a train. Honestly, Dan, you're yeah, I can't, yeah. I think your fruits speak for themselves. I mean, if you can manage your perfectionism, that would be great, right? So you can still aim high. You can still aim, have that inherent not satisfied until I'm satisfied, until I've earned my satisfaction kind of feeling. And use that to fuel you and ensure that you actually do work well. But just don't let it get to the point where it becomes unhealthy. And where it now controls you. Your tooth hurts, Levi. Try clove oil. If you can get your hands on clove oil, apparently that helps. But there's nothing that's gonna help you more than getting it sorted at the dentist as soon as possible. Sorry that you're going through that, mate. It's not great. Honestly, Dan, as it should. As it should. I respect someone who work. You know, there are a lot of people today have that, um, the mentality, I think, of going into work and just doing the minimal amount and just having no pride. And, you know, like we live in a time where it's funny if you're working from home. Oh, haha, I have a program that moves my mouse so they think I'm working while I just sit and not do anything. That's something to be proud of. Or people that will just like go hide away in the toilets for hours at work. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, I don't understand. And then it'll be the same people that when now it comes some disciplinary action, now all of a sudden they're a victim. In my last one to one, the manager would go, "You're a grafter." One thing I will say though, Dan, have a good work rate. But I do think some companies and some managers can try to sort of take the piss with that a little bit. So I'll say just be wary, you know, with humility, just be wary of how things are moving around you. It's okay. Please make you happy, Levi. If you put your source of happiness in others, you will be very, very disappointed. You gotta find it within yourself first, my man. If you rely on me to make you happy, you're probably gonna end up upset because I won't know. You know, I don't know what makes you happy, and you're gonna be upset at me and be angry with me, whereby I haven't really done anything to you. Find it within yourself first, and then spread it. This is a scenario for the Voyager paid Loco DLC, and there doesn't really seem to be much in the way of effort, other than the subtitles at the beginning. And I don't know if I'm going to encounter something along the way, but it's a little bit disappointing. You know, like, yes, all a new number is at the end of TSW is just a number. It's the same game year on year. But you would think that at least take the opportunity to try and make the game feel new, or some aspects of the game feel new. Like scenarios, they're clearly not neglected, because every single time they'll come out with a DLC, be it a Loco or a Root DLC. So they make the effort of creating them. So why not make the effort of making them worth something, instead of giving me a service that I could have picked myself from the timetable list, but adding a title to it and giving me some background info. Apparently there are some good one or two with the main Riviera Land DLC, but I want to see actual scenarios across the board. It's tiring now. Surely now it's tiring, even for the devs themselves, to work on yet another bad weather A to B scenario. We have to deal with that enough with dynamic weather, don't you think? I think the thing is annoying me at the moment. People all have the expertise when I'm the new guys trying to gain knowledge and everything. Wait, why does that bother you though, Dan? If you're around like a well of knowledge and wisdom, and you got the opportunity to just take that all in, that's a blessing, man. Don't feel a way that, you know, you're the one that's asking and everyone else is the one that's giving because they're somehow better than you. That's not the case at all. As a matter of fact, you let time take its course, and you end up being the most knowledgeable there because you've taken some from this fella, some from this fella, some from this lass, and rather than just have each one's like one of their levels of knowledge, you've got you sort of got like a multiplication of knowledge. Just train spotting. You want me to do some train spotting, Levi, or are you gonna do train spotting? This is Exeter Control. The line beyond Exeter is blocked. There is currently no room at Exeter St. David's. You have to stable here. Okay. So am I going to load all the passengers off? Am I going to unload all the passengers and go and stable it somewhere? Or is it just going to end? This is your driver speaking. Due to the heavy snowfall, we have to terminate this service at our current stop, Newton Abbot. Please inquire at the information desk for onward travel. No quotation marks? No voice acting like they did on the Expert 101 gameplay pack. The gameplay pack, nonetheless. Not the actual core loco pack. Just the gameplay pack. TSG went through the trouble of recording voice lines. Although it was a bit odd that they were in English and not in German. But hey, at least there was some effort made. We won't speak of the helicopter scenario. Oh, me, Levi. I won't do any train spotting today, mate. Today, as you can probably tell by the title, I'm running through the scenarios, and at the same time, I'm recording them to post them as YouTube videos as well. So I'm not really going to be doing much other than focusing on running the scenario as it should be run. For all the other funky stuff, feel free to tune in onto the streams I've got coming up over the next couple of weeks. But for these streams in particular, they're going to be quite strict in how I play them. Where are the wipers? I actually don't know where the wipers are. No. Here they are. Great work in tricky conditions. Let's see how you did. You know what? I'm actually very happy I didn't spad. There was a couple of gritted teeth moments. But aside from that, all good. I don't know what happens with this. I don't know what's going on with the resolution, man. I'm nice. Thank you, Levi. I did a dispatching scenario earlier and the amount of traffic was sweet. Even the flying squad. Have you got all the layers then, Navi? Because yeah, it's very nice with all the layers. And also, how lucky are we? How lucky are we to have all of our layers available? Have all of our content. That's actually huge. It sucked so much in previous years. I think TSW 5 we were good as well, but I think from TSW 4 and backwards, you know, it's like cool, you've got early access, but the routes are dead because there's no layers, and it sort of just took away the fun. Right, on to the next one. Whew, it's a lengthy one. Do I leave it? Do I leave it? Do I leave it? No, let me go for it. Limited power. Take over this Class 220 service to Plymouth that's suffering from intermittent power issues. Let's see how this one goes. Do I like Thomas the Tank Engine? I don't mind him. I don't mind him. Navi, main menu, or just like the start menu. Hold on. Good afternoon, driver. Today we'll be taking the service down to Plymouth. The previous drivers reported intermittent power issues, which is why we're delayed. For now, proceed as usual. If the issues escalate, we'll reassess the situation. Start menu, settings, HUD and gameplay, which is on the right hand side, and it will be near the top. It's called the stop marker. That's the one that you're looking for, the one that you're referring to. I'm not doing any tones. I'm just doing the scenarios as they're intended to be played through. Come back later in the week where I'll be doing, I'll be happy to do all sorts of stuff for you. But I'm just focused right now on doing the scenarios as they're intended to be played through. And I'll have some fun. The fun will come later on. Do you know Mike the Knight is a kid show? Okay, I've never heard of Mike the Knight. Is it train related as well? Welcome back, Navi. Sorry, I didn't even see what you said. Sorry, mate. Start menu, settings, HUD and gameplay, and then you'll find it near the top. It's called stop. It's the stop marker that you're looking for. It's not train related. Okay. It's gonna be a bit of a pain in the backside, but I think I am gonna switch my monitors around. I want to play in 4K, man. A big part of me going to 1440p was because of OBS. It's not going to be a concern anymore. Because when OBS wasn't open, any game 4K would be completely fine. Not a problem at all. I think I'll do that tonight before my nap. Going to be a bit of a headache. We'll live. I really like that church model. I think it just sticks out as not being generic. I think that's what I like about it. Levi, I don't think it'll be of much interest to me, mate, if it's a kids show. My favorite train in the game, the class 465. Couldn't even tell you what it is about that train. Just sort of fell in love with it. It's a shame the Train Sim Classic version is so... I don't know, it just feels so dreary. What's your favorite train in the game, Levi? I look sad, do I? I'm completely fine, my friend. Thank you for your concern. Thank you for the details on it, Navi. Yeah, don't. Definitely not something I think I would be interested in. Maybe something for the kids, but not me. Saw this one a little late, but I think we're good. Just. The sea looks. This is the third color I've seen of the sea. I've seen it completely transparent, and you could just see the mud. It's not. It doesn't look like sand. It looks like mud below it. I've seen it look a decent, somewhat realistic blue, and now it looks like indigo blue ink. Oh god. The wiper has a horrible... What even is that? Like a reflection? That's atrocious. Favorite train in the game is the class... The class 22? You mean the 220? The one that we're driving now? Ah, nice one. Lucky you then, you came along at the right time. I think the Voyager is a lot of people's... Well, I don't know if it's a lot of people's favourite trains, but I know it's a train that a lot of people were looking forward to. Navi. Okay. I'm just playing through the scenarios as intended. All the looking around and admiring scenery and playing funny horns and all of that. I'm gonna leave that for another stream. Today I'm just focused on recording scenarios for YouTube in as clean a format as possible. And then in the coming weeks, once I've got all the scenarios out the door, and the content that I want to make, then I'll be doing all sorts of freestyle content, let's call it. And no for today, yeah. I've had about 4 or 5 people ask me to play tones. It's the irony of these streams sometimes. I've had a few requests over the past couple days, and I've streamed for hours. I did 8 hours yesterday of pure, well, 7 and a bit hours yesterday of pure TSW 6, and barely got any requests of the sort. People saying, "Oh, let me have a look at this. Let me have a look at that." Tail lights on the front of the 150 there. That was interesting. Cool. I'll be out of here in about half an hour. I'll continue the run off stream. My name is Adnan Levi. Thank you, George, for liking the live, mate. Once again, Levi, my name is Adnan. Might look a bit funky on paper, but a lot more basic in pronunciation. Please do, Navi. Go ahead, mate. I'm surprised God mode hasn't been released. It's the exact same thing as it is on TSW 5. It just needs to be updated for the routes rather than the game itself, I think. Should come out first week. Looks like the issue is getting worse. Unload passengers for Totnes at Newton Abbott Platform 1, and the next service will take care of their onward travel. Once they've passed us, we'll head direct to Plymouth, and from there back to the depot. Okay. I think that's where the length of this scenario comes from. Heading back towards the heading back to the depot. So we unload everyone at Newton Abbot, it was, and then why did we continue to Plymouth? Maybe I misread something. A few weekends ago, took the missus away for the weekend, went to York. The National Railway Museum. York's got some cool things for railway related, doesn't it? Every now and again, I'll have a look at like something will catch my eye, some sort of event, somehow train or railway related, and then I'll have a little search at where the thing is. I feel like at least 70% of the time it's York, so I'm not surprised. I'm glad you had a good time though. Anything that like especially caught your eye? Not nearly as exciting, but I took myself to the London Transport Museum last week, Thursday. Uploaded some of the pictures to Discord. So what happens that the day that Trains in Mode 6 early access is finished? Nothing happens, mate. One of the oldest cities in the UK. Makes sense then. I know there's a lot of history attached. I don't know the details of that history. Anything like, I mean, I was gonna say anything not railway related there. Don't have too much of a clue, but even the railway stuff, to be honest, I'm not too clued up on. I haven't tried to myself, but apparently you can't walk up the seawall. It's quite disappointing, man. They've done so well with this route, and then have made it it's not just a seawall, but just walking around in general. It's so you can't, like, there's so many invisible barriers that prevent you from just walking around the scenery and having a bit of an exploration. And I think that's what's been causing my camera to be going funky whenever I'm trying to fly around. It's the invisible barriers. And if that is what it is, then yeah, there's a lot. It's quite unfortunate. Oh, I'm not going to be able to sort out my monitors today. By the time I'm done having dinner, it's going to be time for me to have my nap. If I could post a link, I would know one. Oh, the mallard is there. Sick. Thing's massive, ain't it? I'm still yet to like experience like Steam, like active live Steam traction. I've seen locos here and there quite sparingly. I've never seen one that's breathing. That 150 was giving it everything, whereas the Voyager's just cruising along. Well, we're going to push it now a little bit to get it up to line speed. But it was taking 60 very, very easily. Thank you, Class 60 man, for liking the live. Flying Scotsman VR experience. Is it like real life footage that you see in the headset, or is it like a virtual thing? It's not TSW, is it? they had a bit of a train simulator at the transport museum. It was the controls were of like a typical like 70s 60s underground train with the rotating handle, dead man's handle, which was quite heavy. I don't know if that was typical or whether it's just, I don't know, it's been used a lot or whatever. And it was running open BVE. Don't know what line. I recorded a little bit, but Discord is being so stush with how much it allows you to upload if you don't have Discord Nitro. If so, in TSW is quite realistic. But then it's probably one of those what's the word? Not exclusive, but like for example, at the Transport Museum, they also had like an Elizabeth line simulator where that visually, graphically looked much better than TSW, but it was it was still virtual. A lot of these train events and sort of experiences are really opening my eyes to how much I need to travel a bit more within the UK. For so long, I was so focused on traveling out of the UK, while having barely experienced anything other than London. I went Hastings when I was a child, Birmingham for a few hours, Bristol on a day trip when I was about, I don't know, 10 or even younger. Like I've barely properly got. Well, to be fair, I went to Cornwall a few years back for a couple of days. That's about it. I drove down to Louth to pick up something, and yeah, that's about it. I really need to get out, man. I was so sure, and I can see on the track monitor that the signal is before the station, but for some reason in my mind the station was gonna come first, and then the signal. Fortunately, it was just an approach. I'm not sure exactly how slow you have to slow down to before it gives you the go ahead. Thank you, JCT. Perfect. Thank you for the follow, mate. Appreciate you. I really need to get to making some more TikTok content. Wait for the train to pass. How long is that gonna take? And what exactly are we waiting for? I know usually at Dawlish Warren, I think it's called, the station. Usually there you'll wait for a faster service to go past. Is it 802? But see, if we're going empty, I'm confused. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. Right, there the 802 goes. Now, if we continue behind it, I do wonder if we've unloaded everyone here, what the point would be. Also, apparently, going off what an employee of GWR said on the forum, you're meant to wait 2 minutes after a train's departed before the signal would change. Because when you're just doing a normal timetable mode, they tend to change as soon as the train's cleared the section. But for... It was explained, but I've forgotten it. For some reason or another, there's a 2-minute gap between the train leaving and then the signal changing. Doing the winter scenario you were doing, cab looks okay with the lights. If it looks good for you, Ionic, fair enough. I turned it on and it's got quite a bright light, quite a strong, harsh light. And I felt like it obstructed my view ahead a little bit. And like the first reason I gave, I don't think it's typical. Well, I know it's not typical for for the cab lights to be on. In reality, on a normal run. Okay, so we are going behind the 802. Interesting. Interesting. Fortunately, it is an express service, so it's not going to be... Well, it shouldn't hold us back too much in terms of reds. But it does seem like we're going straight down to Plymouth. So I don't see why we couldn't have gone ahead. We're not exactly some sort of freight service. Where's the terminus station, Danny? Well, Plymouth. It was going to be Plymouth, but due to some train issues, which I'm yet to experience, by the way. They did keep making mention of it in the text, but I haven't experienced anything, and it's kind of interesting, considering that we have a faults feature now. I've turned it off. If it was tied to that, then shame. But it's buggy. so I can't trust it. And especially with the Voyager, there's a bug where if you have the train faults on, the brakes on this train can just seize, and nothing you do, including resetting the train, will fix it. And if it was a setting that needed to be on, it should have stated it at the beginning of the scenario. Train should just about should be going to Plymouth and Cornwall. Yeah. I just didn't really understand why it got let out in front of us, considering we're going non-stop now to Plymouth. So we're going to be running the same line speed that it's going to be running. I guess it does take this train maybe a little bit longer to get to that speed. Yeah, Ionic, that's been an issue forever with this game. I was impressed with when I played Derail Valley for the first time a few months ago, and the cab pushed the branches away. Because it's an issue that's happened like... Derail Valley for me is the first game I've played where the machinery that you're operating, be it a car, truck, bus, train, moves the foliage away. Maybe my mind is set like old schooly, but foliage is always just clipped through the cab. You play Euro Truck, American Truck Sim, it just clips through the cab. Train Sim Classic just clips through the cab. Hello Ben, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Oh, that decline came very quickly out of nowhere. I only looked away for a second. There's another Voyager. I do apologize ahead of time for abruptly bringing this scenario to an end. Somewhere in the middle of it. But I will need to escape. How is there such a difference in braking power from 1.8% grading to 2.2%? It's also interesting that when you use the controller to interact with certain buttons, such as clearing the vigilance, you don't get a notification for it, but like you do if you do the braking and the throttle. But if I press the same vigilance clearance button on the keyboard, it would display it. Inconsistencies everywhere. Welcome back, Levi. Oh god, Ionic. Are you a dad by any chance? I'm intrigued into what the scenario with the scenario that's meant to pay homage to that one event where a wave caused a train to break down and it has to be rescued. Considering the waves aren't very wavy on here, I can't change. Why can't I change the wipers with my keyboard now? Is it because I set them? I can set it with the mouse. What am I getting for Christmas? It's the 27th of September, mate. And I don't think I really would know what I'd be getting for Christmas until Christmas comes and I open my gifts. I really, really like the scenery, just with regards to the line side foliage. Apparently, it's a bit overdone in places. Funny enough, but as someone who hasn't taken a trip down here, I'm just happy to see it look living. You know, it doesn't look like there's been a drought. You're gonna get a laptop, nice one, mate. Hopefully, one capable of enjoying TSW one. I saw some trackside clutter there. I wish there was a bit more of that. Also, I wish that when there would be a TSR in effect, that where it is, maybe they'd have some like dioramas of you know, some PWA engineers or just clutter, just more trackside clutter. You know, would kind of make sense. If there's a temporary speed restrictions, there's a temporary speed restriction. There's usually a reason for it. That can't be the AO2 that we let past, right? Surely. I'm gonna tell myself that it's not, so that I don't end up cussing the game. You're 13, Levi. Can you please explain to me what the 6-7 thing is amongst the youth? Because see, for the older generation, 6-7 is something completely different. I only just recently learned of this thing. I also don't know if we're meant to be running empty or if we've still got some passengers that and we're just running express to Plymouth. Oh, you're getting TSW 6 for PS5. Okay, nice. Nice. Anybody playing TSW one? PR Pop train controllers. What's that? Ionic. It means it's a bad word. What, 6-7? They're numbers. Oh, the rail driver Ionic. I'm not gonna lie, my friend. There are better train controllers out there, and I haven't even started working on mine yet. Although that project's on hold. Indefinitely. The rail driver is just, I mean, you look at the sim racing genre, and you've got full sized racing control steering wheels, right? That you hold like this, not like this. You hold like this, and you know, as you would in real life. You look at the truck sim genre. I've got the Mozart TSW wheel here. It's a full size rim, like you'd get in a bus or a truck, not something that you hold like that. You look at flight simulation. They've got peripherals that you hold like this, like you would in reality, you know. And then you look at the rail driver. Okay, you've got levers that you go like that. I mean, and the only reason it's as popular as it is because there was no competition for a long time. Now there's competition. Timing of it is ludicrous, diabolical even. But anyway, that's a personal issue I've got. But yeah, there is actual train controllers now where they have levers that you grab with your hand and not your index, not between your index and your thumb. Most of these rail sim controllers cost a bomb. I think the new one that I've got in mind is cheaper than a rail driver. Rail driver is ridiculous. Like I said, the only reason they're as popular as they are and have been selling for as much as they have is because there was no competition for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. There was no competition. Nobody was doing anything with train simulation, which is kind of crazy, to be honest. In my opinion, it's kind of mad. I think there's quite some potential there. I think there's been some potential there. Got Train Sim World, you've got Train Sim Classic, you've got SimRail, Railroader Online. Now you've got a fair few, you know, train games where peripherals where train peripherals would be quite at home. Thrustmaster Airbus, yeah, I wouldn't mind something like that. I'm open to doing flight sim in. If I'm going to invest, it will be, my priority is my racing stuff or PC stuff. Now let's say, you know, somehow one way or another I found flight peripherals in my domain, then I would absolutely do some flight sim. I'm just not willing to splash the cash on a hobby that's not my primary one. I played through a little bit of MSFS 2020 with, but I played that with literally this. I played a lot of it in VR, which was cool. I had some amazing experiences in VR, and that was just with a Quest 2. So if I was to upgrade very slightly, even to just a Quest 3 or more, I'd be in for a treat. I think I low key might need a GPU upgrades. I think because I need, because the quality that I would stream at of this GPU is gorgeous, and my current system is not up to par. Does the job clearly, but it's not up to par. My If I do go back to my 4K monitor, then I'm going back to 60. I'm losing 100 frames. I'd be losing 100 frames going back to 60. And I'm looking at 60 FPS now on it. And then I'm looking at this monitor. And I'm looking back at my 60 Hertz monitor. And I'm looking back. And there's a difference. Do I just wait until I get like a 4K high refresh rate monitor? One which I've got in mind. This 1440p is fine. It's cool. But it's just that I was on 4K for so long that just the crispness of 4K I became very accustomed to. Still here, considering whether to run it or not. If you're this anxious about it, Lennon, I say leave it. Don't do it. Preserve your peace. Otherwise, if it goes wrong, you're gonna lose your mind. Thank you, Levi. It's yeah, it's going fairly well, thank you, mate. Well, no, Nabil, I'm talking about putting my 3080. Are you talking about taking my AMD GPU, my RX 580? I think having 2 GPUs would be enough. Usually, I like a backup one. So if I get a newer one than my 3080 Ti, then I might think about it. Although I will give you a heads up, it's not in the greatest shape. The fan makes a noise. Like, fan makes a noise. I don't know why. It was fine. I'm guessing it dropped somewhere one day, and I don't know, something came loose. So the fan makes a noise when you ramp it up, and it flickers. Now I don't know exactly what the reason for that is. Is it the cable? I don't think so. My cable was fine. Never had an issue with the cable. I'm using the latest drivers. So it's pointing to the GPU, you know, suffering from something. I don't know what it is exactly. But, yeah. I mean, you say you'll take any GPU. Let's say it is an issue with the GPU. So cool. Now you're playing with better frame rate. But your games the screen keeps flickering. Or would you want what you've got now and have it completely stable? Think about it. Lennon, do it if it goes wrong, you can fix it. If you're going to be completely lost and stuck, if it goes wrong, don't do it. The flickering issues, Nabil. The whole screen flashes and like bugs out a little bit for like a second. There's no like pattern to it. Sometimes it would do flick. Sometimes it will be fine, then flick, and then fine. Sometimes it will just do two. There's no pattern to it. It just has the issue of the flickering. I'm not too far behind you then, Navi. What are you driving? Hopefully, all remains well, Lennon. But Nabil, do you like browse eBay and stuff and just like see if you see what's what in terms of like, or, you know, what you could pick up for like a used GPU? Because I'm sure you can get like bro, a 10. I was playing in 4K with a 1080. I'm certain, my bro, that you can get a good. You could find a 1080 for a good price today. Or what you can do is even look for people that are giving them away. A lot of people just give things away thinking that they're broken. You know, they give it away as faulty. Takes a bit of, you know, perform a bit of surgery here and there. Sometimes, yeah, it could be a write-off. Other times, it could be completely salvageable. A few times, I've seen like videos on like Linus Tech Tips, for example, where they sometimes for free, sometimes for very very cheap, they'll buy like 40 PC stuff, motherboards, GPU, memory, and then they see like if it's fixable and you know how easy it is to fix. Bro, they've had stuff that just worked. I don't know. Some people throw stuff away for strange reasons. During the scenario, have very little fuel. By any chance, Navi, have they put something on the screen that shows you your fuel level? Have they done one of those scenarios again? I haven't seen one of them in a while. They seem to do them once or twice every year. Last time it was something to do with like the brakes. You had to keep the brakes at a certain temperature or something like that. Yeah, fair enough, Nabil. Again, even those things you could probably get for like dirt cheap, like super cheap. A new PC build, Navi. I mean, what resolution are you looking to play at? I mean, it's a lot that goes into it. What resolution you're looking to play at? What budget you're working with? All I do nowadays is just direct people. I'd say your best bet, go to either Reddit or the Linus Tech Tips forum, and then you have a mass of people who are very clued up. I can tell you very basic things, but I can't be as detailed as once upon a time. I would say just avoid like 60 series cards. They're like Nvidia's cop outs, to be honest. Once upon a time, bro. I think I was only as clued up as I was because I was looking to build something myself. So I was doing tons of research. Whereas now that I've been settled for a while, I'll if I happen to pick something up about a new card or a new GPU or a new CPU, it'll be fleeting. 40 series GPUs are more, bro. Right now, I've got a 3080 Ti Navi, and I was saying recently, I have no plans to upgrade. I'm on a 3080 Ti. I'm playing at 1440p, but I was playing at 4K just fine. I'm playing at 1440p, high refresh rate, just fine. Um, you know, that's why I specifically asked about your use case, because it does depend. You know, if you're somebody who's going to be playing at 1080p, my guy, you'd be fine with like a 10 series GPU, a 20 series GPU. You know, I guess based on frame rates, if you want super high frame rates, then okay, maybe push it up a little bit. If you're on 1440p, there's going to be something for that. If you're going to be on 4K, there's going to be something for that. What sort of refresh rate you're looking for, there's going to be something for that. You want to run TSW 6 and Ultra? At what resolution? That's exactly what I'm doing now, by the way. At 1440p. With a 3080 Ti. And it's more than smooth. I can't tell you exactly what frame rate I'm running at, but you can see that I'm getting a constant 60. So you kind of like that, Nabil. I don't know, man. I don't know if you're trolling or not. I don't know if you're trolling. I don't know if I should respond to it seriously or not. You've liked some weird things in the past, man. I can't tell. I actually can't remember anything specific from the top of my head, but like I remember being surprised about your opinions on certain things. But forgive me for not being able to have any specific one in mind. Prob Zeusy? No, I don't even think so. Because I didn't even know anything was really bad with Zeusy until like I don't know. It seemed like everyone was fine with it, and then one day it was mentioned, and then you had some stuff to say about it, against it. ASR has some stuff to say against it. I think Domi as well, if I'm not mistaken. And I was just like, huh? I thought this game was good. I thought the physics were on point. I thought, you know, it was the perfect game just without great graphics. There are no physics. See, the way it was like praised before. Now I question why was it praised that way? Physics seem a pretty basic part of train simulation. You know, of anything that moves simulation. Trucks, buses, cars, trains, ships. We're doing at 11:07. I feel like we're gonna make it there quite before that. Thank you, Heights, for liking the live, mate. Appreciate you. I'll read that in a second, Nabil. Got some speed changes coming up. Maybe we'll be taking it there afterwards. I don't know. I'm just seeing 802s though. Okay. I'm gonna stop at Plymouth and then I'm gonna end the stream there. 'Cause I need to go off and have my dinner and then sleep until I gotta go to work later on. Again, apologies for it being quite a shortish one and ending mid scenario. But you'll be able to catch the rest of it. Hopefully tomorrow. I'll upload this one, at the very least this one and the one we did before. Should be uploaded tomorrow. If you see this, train protection systems rendered with all functions relevant to the train driver. It is quite impressive, definitely. It is quite impressive. Can slip in some GR. What's that? What's GR? It's quite impressive, but it's kind of disappointing. Oh, come on, bro. It's kind of disappointing that with all of that, the trains don't have physics. So then it becomes a fault simulator in a way, or a safety systems or a protection systems simulator. I'm not gonna hear you out, bro. I've gone deaf. If hearing you out means I need to hear that, I'm gonna be hearing that, and then I'm deaf, bro. God forbid I'm not deaf. I rebuke that. But I'm not hearing you out. Nah, I hear you out, bro. Just not when you're, just not, just not that. Okay, cool. I'm gonna leave it there for this stream, and that will be uploaded tomorrow, along with the other one as well. Oh God, I don't know what is up with the resolution. Anywho, let me just leave it open. But yeah, I wish you guys a lovely rest of your weekend. Thank you for hanging around this completely unannounced, semi-unannounced stream, I guess. Hopefully catch you guys on Monday. Where I'll be continuing on with the scenarios. And yeah, just a heads up, I'm playing through the scenarios with them and recording them at the same time. So I want it to be pretty clean, pretty smooth, pretty straightforward, pretty much as intended. So I'm not gonna be like flying around the camera, playing around with the horn, just doing kind of like random stuff like that. I'm just gonna play according to the scenario, and then once I've cleared the scenarios, happy to go back to the norm. Also, why it's the reason why the alerts are off. So yeah, just expect that for the next few streams going forward. But yeah, I wish you guys a lovely rest of your weekend. Like I said, keep resting if you're working. Shout out to you. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Stay safe. Health is wealth. Jesus Christ loves you all. Till the next one. Peace out.